So the next part, after you've reduced the corners, reduced four of the corners, just using positioning and really not much in the way of algorithms, we now reduce the centers. Reducing the centers is not unlike reducing the edges of a large cube, large puzzle. What I'm going to do is, you can see that if I move this down here, I can bring this in and start doing a similar exchange. What I'm going to be exchanging, and the way to look at this, is this is going to come down here, and then this is going to, I'm going to bring this down here, then this center is going to come down to here, this is going to come down to here, and this is going to come up, and this is going to be brought back up to here. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm involving these three with the bottom one as a point of exchange. Now what's going to happen is that this is already in, and ideally speaking what I want is I want to get in 3 at a time. Get in 3, then get in the last 3. This is already in. Do I have anything else that happens to be in? No? Okay. This is already in, so I only want to get 2 in. The way that I'm going to do that is this will come to here, and when I put this in here, I'm going to put this down here and exchange it with this side. Whatever is here is going to end up here, right next to this red. Whatever is here is going to end up over here to join whatever this color was. So what I'm going to want to do is, if I want to put 2 in, I want to put a red one up here. So let's go ahead and turn things around until I find the other red, which is here. Now don't worry, I know I'm taking things out of alignment with the corners, but that's okay. The corners are still fully reduced. Okay, the red one is here, but I want to move this red one on top. So I'm going to move it here. This is exactly the same technique I used with the F Skewb. Okay, over here. So put one on the top, bottom right, bottom left. Basically what's going to happen is this is going to come down here, this is going to end up here next to this red, this is going to end up here. So I'm going to move this down into here, and then moving this down to the bottom, go down, move this down to the bottom, down, up, and I'll move this back up. And as you can see, this is reduced, and this is reduced. Once I have that in this situation, I basically have 2 left, these 2. So I'm going to move this into here, so this will come here, this will end up here, and this will end up here. So I'll have 3 that are out. So move it in. This is doing it from the other perspective, and I'll go down, down, up, and move it up. Now that's exactly what I wanted to have happen, because I have 1, 2, 3 in, and 1, 2, 3 out. So now I can correlate these guys together. I can line these up. This yellow can come down here to join this. I need to find a blue and put it here. Well, there's this. Let's turn this upside down here. All right, let's do it from this perspective here. So this will come here, this will come here, and this will come here. So you have to kind of make it, put it in the right position, but you want 3 left so that they can be reciprocals to each other. So move this down here, go down, down, up, and then move it up. And all of the centers will be reduced. Basically, believe it or not, this is a skewb. This is almost exactly like this, only it's a superskewb because the center here is 1 color, this is 2. So we're going to solve this exactly like a skewb with the possibility of a F Skewb parity. We've now reduced our F Skewb to a skewb. So a typical skewb solve. Now the good news is skewb solves are fairly quick and easy. You just have to keep your perspective. So I'm going to start off with, the green side. So we'll do the green center just like we'll do the green center over here, just like we did over here. So how am I going to know what goes where? Well, it's going to be decided upon based on this color and this color. So I'm going to be putting corners in, and the corners have to line up with a yellow and with a gray. Before I reduce the corners looking at these colors here, now I'm going to reduce everything based on the centers looking at gray and yellow. My suggestion, don't do this first because it's the easiest. Do these. So you can see here's a green and here's a yellow. Well, I like the yellow here, and this has a gray here. So what I'm going to do is skewb style, move it out of the way, orbit it like this, skewb it back in, bring it down. So it's like R-I-D-I-R-D. Nope, this isn't where it needs to be. Move it up, put it in position, and move it down. So this is correct, and this is correct. This just happens to be here. If it wasn't, I just have to clink, move it in. So this is in fine. I'm going to turn it over here and put the corner in properly here, this corner. It's got to be silver and yellow. So find a corner with a silver and yellow. Here's a silver, but an orange. How about blue, silver and yellow? So let's go ahead and skewb the blue in. Okay, this has to turn. So what we're going to do is take it out of the way, orbit it, and then we can orbit it in the right position here and bring it in. Well, that was too easy. So this is in and this is in. This happened to come in, but even if it didn't, if it was out, it's going to be somewhere along in here. So this is in, and this is in, and all I have to do is put this. Now the good news is, you know, that last skewb side, we had to do a combination of like an RD move. That's because it had to be oriented correct. I move this in, and orientation means nothing. So actually this is already oriented correctly. I don't have to move it out and do my RD thingy or equivalent. So basically what I have in this is I have these corners all in. It's the equivalent of getting one side, the equivalent of getting all of this. Now as you recall with the skewb solve, what I then do is once I have this whole side here is I turn it upside down and get all of these centers in. So too I turn it upside down and I got to get all these centers in. This was just too easy because everything is kind of sort of where it needs to be. But in any case, let's see what we have on the top. On the top we have orange and silver. So where does this go? Now remember, we're swapping it with these centers. These are all centers. So orange and yellow, I'm looking for orange and silver. Orange and silver is here. So this belongs down here. The way that I do skewbs is I'll take whatever center's on top and put it where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to take this and move it down to here. The problem is it's going to be upside down, right? This is going to move down here, so the orange will be here and the silver will be here. Well, in order to put that in right, I'm going to swap it, and then I'm going to go up, down again, swap it again. So I'm going to move this in here, which will turn it upside down, and go down. Now remember, if you're ever confused about the down, down, up, up, which goes where, when I want to move this center to here, I'm going to be moving this corner and this corner. And they're all skewb cuts. We're done with dyno cuts. Sort of. Anyway, so down, rotating this, then rotate this, down, up, up. And as you can see, getting your perspective here, just make sure you know which center is on the bottom. This is in silver and orange, but it's upside down. So what I'm going to do is flip it up and down again, which will put this right side up. Down, down, up, up. Now we can bring this down and you can see it's lined up correctly. Down, down, up, up. Okay? So we like it. This is good. Now the next step that I do with the skewb solve is I find the one that's supposed to be 180 degrees directly across from that. So let's see which one that is. Well, it's going to be the one that has the green and the orange. What has green and orange? Well, let's see. Green and orange appears to be this, green and orange. Oh, yellow, green and yellow. There goes that color blindness. So where's the green and yellow center? Here's a green and yellow over here. So this one has to be moved up to the top. Remember, this is the top. When I swap these two, I'm going to take the yellow that I just put in and put it on the other side. So swapping these two will also swap these two. So we know that about a skewb solve. But that's okay, because I'll move this up. This will then be swapped over to here, where ultimately I want to put this. And that's fine, because then once this is up here, I'll put this down here. And then this, which is now here, will be swapped up here to be placed down here. That's the overall strategy. So once I put this in, put the one that goes 180 degrees from it here. If it's over here, bring it up and then bring it down. So we'll go down, down, up, up. So there it is here. Now I'm going to move it into this place here. Bear in mind, it's green and yellow. Green and yellow. It's going to come in upside down, so I have to move it down and then swap it again down and up. So down, down, up, up. It's down but upside down, so let's swap it up and down again. Down, down, up, up, and again, down, down, up, up. All right, this is where it's supposed to be. Now this one, we're going to get back to here. So once again, down, down, up, up. Okay, so after I've done that, this is in place, and this is in place. You can see the corners add up, corners add up, corners add up. So all I have to deal with now is this center, and this center. So let's see what needs to go where. Well, I've got the green and the orange, so this is in the right place. It's just rotated. It's just rotated wrong. So too, this needs to come over to here. And this needs to come over to here. So what I'm going to do is let's manually do that. Let's take this and simply put it here. First step, bring it up, which will swap these two, and then we bring it down, which will swap it back. Now, so we have these two that need to be swapped. That's only two. You're not supposed to have that. But let's go ahead and carry this out and see what happens. So down, down, up, up. All right, that brought this up here. Now we're going to take this and move it into the green and silver side, which is here. Down, down, up, up. Okay, so here's the issue. You can see that this center is in. How do I know it's in? It's lined up with this, and it's lined up with this. This center is in. It's nicely lined up with this, and it's lined up with this. This center is not in. It's orange, but this is supposed to be green. This red is orange, but this is supposed to be yellow. What we have is we have a parity. This blue with the green and orange is supposed to be up here with the green and orange. This red with the orange and yellow is supposed to be here with the orange and yellow. So I have to swap these two, but how can I swap these two if it's also going to swap these two? That doesn't happen in any of these other skewbs, but it does happen in the F Skewb. We did encounter that situation where these two are swapped and everything else is fine. So how do we get out of this? Well, I'm going to get out of this parity the same way I got out of it with this. These two need to somehow swap. That's not going to happen with it reduced the way that it is. So the way that I have to do this is I have to swap these two at the same time or as I'm swapping these two. So what I need to do is I'm going to go ahead and flip these guys. Now, if you look at the F Skewb tutorial, I'm doing exactly the same thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down and I'm going to sacrifice these three. I'm going to put these three out. So with the red one in the lead, I'm going to move this down here and do my down, down, up, and move it back up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the red one down into the other red one, which is here. So I'm going to position this so it's directly under the red. Once I've done that, I'm now going to continue with the swapping, but I've got to be careful because I don't want to put I don't want to put one in while I have two out. And this will work fine because this blue on the top is going to end up here. So I'm going to have the blue and white here, and this white is going to end up over here to match with the red. So now I'm going to take this red, move it into this red over here. So I'm going to turn it down, and then once again go down, down, up, and I'll bring this up. Now that I've done that, I'm going to take my base color that I was doing and just solve for that. So where's the other red? The other red is over here, and I'm going to minimize motion as much as possible. Just move it one move from where it needs to be, move it over here, and now I'm going to move this into here. So I'm going to reconstitute my red side, and I want to move the blue one into here to match with this. So I'm just going to find the blue one, which is right over here. So this is perfectly placed for this to come here. I'm going to swap these, move this down here, move this down here, bring it up here. This will end up here and it'll be fine. So once again, move it down, and then go down, down, up, move it in, and there it is. So now everything is once again reduced. This puzzle is now once again a skewb, but with the parity completely taken out. Now, it's true that maybe I could have thought of or designed an algorithm that only swapped those two and didn't cause any scrambling or limited scrambling of the entire puzzle, but honestly, I really don't want to memorize an algorithm like that. There is a way to do it. I did figure one out, but it was much too monstrous of an algorithm. I'd rather just use strategy and do a simple skewb solve. So getting back to the skewb solve, we'll get back to my red side, silver and orange, yellow rather. Where's the silver and yellow? Silver and yellow right here. So I'm going to try to move this one in. Well, this isn't going to work, so maybe on the other side with this blue. Okay, bring it over here, turn it, bring it in. All right, so this is where it needs to be, this is where it needs to be. This one automatically is there, just by accident. Yellow and silver, gotta find another yellow and silver. It's not the purple one, it is the red one. So I'm doing skewb moves to move the red one in. So I'm just gonna orbit it, turn it there, and then turn it in. Exactly the same techniques. This is in and this magically got in there. Real simple. Now turn it upside down and let's do this again. Start with the top skewb center, orange and green. Find the orange and green center area. Here's orange. Yep, actually this does belong here, orange and green. So what I'm going to do is simply move one up to bring it where it's supposed to be. Because I don't think anything here is where it needs to be. So I'm just going to move the orange one up. Swap these two. Down, down, up, up. Okay, orange, green, and silver. Green and silver. So this should come down here, but it's going to come in upside down, so I just have to skew it that way. Down, down, up, up. As predicted, it's here, but upside down. So swap it and swap it again. Down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, and perfect. It's where it needs to be. So now go for the one that's supposed to be 180 degrees from this, which should be here, yellow and orange. Here's yellow and orange. I'm going to take this red, move it up, so I can move it down to here. Down, down, up, up. Very familiar skewb moves. This red is going to come down to here. This orange got moved here, but that's easily fixed. This is going to come in upside down, so remember, do it twice. Down, down, up, up. Not right, so swing it down and swing it up, swing it back down. Down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. Wonderful, there it is. Orange is just waiting to go where it's supposed to be over here. Silver will come down here, so this will not come upside down. Down, down, up, up. So now we're where we were last time, but a little wiser with no parities. So this top one with silver and orange is supposed to come where? Orange and silver, it's supposed to come down here. So we're going to bring this down here. The problem is it's going to come down upside down. So we're going to bring it down, then we're going to go up and down again. Now each time we're doing that, we're going to be batting this, we're going to be batting the orange and the red back and forth, but we won't worry about that now. We have a particular way of potentially fixing that. So let's bring this down, down. Let's try it again. Down, down, up, up. It's upside down, so do it again. Down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. Okay, this is right side up. So now this white one with the orange and green is going to come down to here with the orange and green. So we're going to go down, down, up, up, which will swap these two and also swap these two, which is what it's supposed to do. So the parity has been taken out. This red with the orange and yellow, yellow and orange rather, is supposed to go here with the yellow and orange. So all is right with the world, and this will come down to here. down. The only thing to make sure you don't get screwed up on is where your down, down, up, ups are supposed to be. Okay, so here's a scenario here. This is in, this is good. This top one is good here. But this red one is where it needs to be, but it's upside down. This orange one is where it needs to be, but it's upside down. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go down, down, up, up. We're going to flip it up and then back down again. In doing so, it's going to flip these centers back and forth. This will be back where it needs to be, but it's going to be upside down. But that's okay, because we're about to do the same thing on this side, which will flip it up and down and flip these back and forth and make it all right. So here's what I mean. Remember, this one and this one is now rotated correctly. This one is not, so I'm going to go up, down to rotate it back. This will be back and forth, but rotated wrong. So down, down, up, up. Now rotate it correct. Down, down, up, up. So we're liking this. This is fine. But this is upside down. This is upside down. So is this, but that's okay. We're going to turn this around, and now we're going to do the same thing here. This will rotate this back, as well as this, and this. So we're going to go down, up, which will rotate this back. Same thing with these, and same thing with this. So down, down, up, up, and again, down, down, up, up. And then you'll find that all is right with the world. All the centers are good. The centers line up correctly. This centers line up correctly. And this centers line up correctly. So what we have is all of our centers are fine. The only problem now is our corners here. Actually, not this. This corner is fine. This corner, our remaining skewb corners, are rotated. This is rotated. This orange is supposed to be down here. I'm sorry, this yellow is supposed to be down here, this orange is supposed to be here, and this green is supposed to be here. Well, in all of these, you have all of these that could potentially have to be rotated. And we had to get them lined up, we had to get them in sync. You can look at the Skewb tutorials to show that. Same thing with this. This is rotated and this is rotated. In this, only two are going to be rotated. This might be rotated too, but we don't care. So all we have to look at is how does this have to rotate? This has to rotate in a counterclockwise way. And if I turn it around, this also has to rotate. Opposite, actually, in a clockwise way. So you can hold it any which way you want. But basically, we're going to go down, down, up, up. And we're going to want to rotate this in a counterclockwise way. So in order to get it in, we're going to want to rotate this in a counterclockwise way too, because that's how we did that with the superskewb, with the superskewb rather. So this needs to go counterclockwise, so my down, down, up, up starts counterclockwise. Do that 4 times and everything should be rotated fine. Down, down, up, up, that's 1, down, down, up, up, that's 2, down, down, up, up, that's 3, down, down, up, up, that's 4, and you're done. Your Dayan Gem 6, no, Dayan Gem 5 is now solved. The solve of this was absolutely no different from an F Skewb. It's exactly the same thing. So all these Dayan diamonds are really just other puzzles in disguise. Dayan Gem 3 is a dino with a little bit of a face turner, so it's something like a Super X. That's really more what that's like. And now we have the Dayan 5, which is basically an F Skewb. As we keep going with the corner turners and hybridizations of skewbs and dinos, we then move into the next one, which is coming up. More Dayans and more dino-skewb hybrids to be seen in the future. Thanks for watching.